Hello, and welcome to the Preservation Catalog Sprint 15 demo. We are just going to go over the things we've accomplished in the last couple weeks. I guess to set the context, our high-level goals were to deploy and run checksum validation on our production environment, to set up a second production VM to parallelize checksum validation in production, to finish our work in fleshing out and porting the ingest robots to a newer, more maintainable code base, and to fix a bug that we ran into when running rake tasks on Moabs that didn't have all of the expected files. So we were able to finish the first one. That was pretty straightforward. We have made progress on all of the rest of those, but they are all up in the air. So for some details, we do have new virtual machines for the ingest robots. One of our other side goals, you can see, the issues assigned to this sprint. We have these 10 open, mostly in progress, and then these 15 closed. One of the ones that we got for free were some bad objects that had stray manifest, stray version metadata files, triggered errors that we were able to see here in Argo. Basically, in an attempt to remediate them and put them a little more in line with the structure of the rest of them, a version metadata file was added, but it was not in the signature catalog at the time that that version was created. And since that was an unexpected file, we flagged it. The easiest kind of remediation course, it seems, is to just remove that version metadata file, which we feel comfortable with that since that was added to preservation after the fact. And then we should be able to rerun checksum validation and clear those errors. We fixed that rake task bug. And kind of one of the interruptions that slowed down some of our other implementation stuff, but was able to give us some good feedback from the team and kind of surface where we are, was we gave a presentation to Direct and kind of the infrastructure team and other developers in general. And we're able to kind of just go over our architecture decisions, the things that have slowed us down, the things that have worked well. And we're able to kind of start the conversation about the technology choices we've made and kind of how much time is left and where things are going forward. We have run checksum validation on one route on production and one route on stage. Disk 10 on stage took a little over 5 days. And we did about 19.1 terabytes of data, about 53,000 objects. And on production, we did about 20.4 terabytes of data over about 89,000 objects, and it took about 9 days. And we have a new spreadsheet to capture those statistics, although we haven't entered them here yet, but we do have a section for checksum validation. And kind of along those lines, we have also captured some of the common SQL queries that we've been using in our wiki so that we can easily collect stats like that. Let's see, a little more detail on the things that we have going in progress. We are working on setting up a second VM to parallelize checksum validation. It was a bit more work than expected because we expect to have a number of these VMs, and we realized that configuration management will actually be difficult if we have, say, 7 VMs running checksum validation, which it seems like we might have to have something around that to be able to checksum, the entire catalog in a month or something along those lines. We don't want to have to maintain 20 different shared configs branches for the project. So Joe and Tony are working on a kind of more rational setup for that. And then the ingest robots are in progress. We feel that we have ported the worst of them and are through the majority of them. We have a couple more to go. We have some VMs provisioned We have yet to start testing, but work on getting them successfully deployed is in progress. And I believe that covers the demo for this sprint. Next sprint will likely be either a shorter one or the demo will be a little bit farther out, since we will all be at a conference, Stanford's LibDevCon X, next week. But stay tuned for sprint demo 16.